The other day, over on my Instagram, I asked you guys, what are your biggest questions you have about Epic Universe? The thing is, I got over 2,000 questions, some of which were really good questions, and some of which were, well, interesting. What, you didn't think I was going to answer the higgledy question? The answer's no. Toenails not painted. As someone who is fortunate enough to have visited Epic Universe over 20 times at this point, I figured I'd answer some questions so that your visit is better. And yes, I even answered some questions that will probably get me in trouble. Let's go do it. The first question I'm going to answer is one that I got a lot, just different variations, but essentially, how many days should I visit Epic Universe? That's a great question, but it's also kind of a tough question to answer. The fact is, it depends on a lot of things. Have I done everything? Yes, but I've also visited a ton of times. If the question is, how long do I think it would take to do everything? See all the shows, ride all the rides, explore the worlds. I would say you're going to need 3 days minimal. I know when you look at it, you might see that there's only 11 rides and 2 shows. However, the worlds are the most immersive worlds that have ever been created. There's Easter eggs and details everywhere, and there are a ton of restaurants. And if you're a foodie like me, it's going to take you a while to get through all of them. If the question is, can I come over there and experience all the rides and the shows in one day? Maybe. I think that's possible, especially if you have Express Pass or a VIP tour. I think it's doable. But the rides are really only a small percentage of what Epic Universe has to offer. There's so much more. I've been here so many times and I still feel like there's things that I haven't done, haven't seen, haven't explored. All that to say, I think it's a minimum of 3 days to experience everything. Epic Universe has changed the game for Universal because now it's a week-long resort, in my opinion. You come down here, you spend a week, and you might not get everything done, but you have a decent chance. Spend a few days over at the other 2 parks. You go to Volcano Bay for a day, you come over here for a few days. Before you know it, you're here for a week, and you're waiting to come back on your next vacation. The next question is one of my favorites. It is, how much will meeting Toothless change my life? You have no idea. Food has tasted better, colors are brighter, flowers smell better, ever since I met you. Toothless. The moment I touched his head, sort of like the moment that Hiccup touched his head, my life has been better. Here's the thing. All of the character meet and greets here in Berk and the rest of Epic Universe are incredible. They've really stepped up the game. No longer are you sitting in line waiting for stuff. I mean, some of them you are, like Toothless, but they have the roaming characters, and that is just, it's so immersive. It makes the worlds come to life when you're just walking around and you look up and there's Astrid or a student from Hogwarts. It's one of the best things they could have done, and it is one of the reasons that I love and keep coming back to Epic Universe. The next couple of questions are really great questions, but I'm going to lump them together. They're not the same question, but I'll talk about them in the same day. The first one is, does the Universal Express Pass from the signature hotels work at Epic Universe? Short answer, no. So when you stay at 3 of the 4 signature hotels, that includes Royal Pacific, Portofino Bay, and the Hard Rock, you get a 2-park unlimited express pass that is good for Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. However, it does not work at Epic Universe or Volcano Bay. And so the other question that I got that I'm kind of lumping into this is, how does Express at Epic Universe work? Another great question, because it isn't the same as at the other 2 parks. So at the other 2 parks, you can get what they call an unlimited express pass, which means you can ride a certain ride. Like if you want to go ride the same ride over and over again, you can do that. Here at Epic Universe, they just offer an express pass that allows you to ride each attraction 1 time. However, there are 3 attractions that are excluded from the Express Pass here. Those attractions are Battle at the Ministry, Minecart Madness, and Dragon Racers Rally. But if you're wanting an unlimited Express Pass, at this time, you cannot get that for Epic Universe. The next question, I love so much. Hey, I love food. What is the best food/restaurant in Epic Universe? Instead of telling you, I'm gonna go show you. I'll be honest, this is one of those questions I got asked a lot. Where's the best place to eat? All of that. I figured the best way to put it to the test was to come back to what I consider the best restaurant in the park and order something I haven't had. Up first, these are the double fried Korean wings. Can we just talk about how big these are? An ostrich. Yeah. So if you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, a week ago, what my favorite restaurant here at Epic Universe was, the answer would have been different. It would have been the Atlantic. Don't get me wrong, the Atlantic is incredible. Everything we had over there was amazing. I couldn't believe that that restaurant or a restaurant of that quality was in a theme park. However, since the Blue Dragon opened and I came over here the other day, there's a new favorite. To me, it's just insane that the Atlantic and the Blue Dragon are both in the same theme park. Either one of them would be a world-class theme park restaurant. And to have them both, it's the equivalent of having Hagrid's and Velocicoaster in the same park over at Islands of Adventure, but for restaurants. It's a huge deal, and these are amazing dining experiences. Sometimes when I rate things based off of how good they are in a theme park. These restaurants would be good anywhere in the world. Not only is this my favorite restaurant for the food, it is one of the most beautiful. There's literally a room where you can see the portals on the wall, and I don't know why, but I love that touch. And next up, I have the Crispy Fried Snapper. This is Crispy Fried Snapper, Japanese barbecue sauce, green papaya salad, and white rice. Oh my God. Yeah, I just don't think that there's going to be something to beat that. That is the best theme park restaurant I've ever eaten at. And it's not really close. To go even further, the food at Epic Universe is just good across the board. There's not really anywhere where I've been disappointed with the food. I used to always tout Dollywood and a few other places as having the best food I've ever had in a theme park. And I truly believe that Epic Universe has surpassed all of them. I think, as a whole, this is the best food you can find in a theme park anywhere in the world. The next question, oh well. It says, if I go dressed as Princess Peach, do I get any discounts or just judgmental looks? I'm doing good. I have a weird question because I got asked. Do you get a discount for dressing up as anything? I did not think so. Like Princess Peach, like no, nothing. Okay, that's fine. Can I do too. Can I get the apple melon smoothie?
Yeah, absolutely.
No. Somebody just asked me.
Gotcha.
I think they had heard that, and we'll see. The answer's no. You don't get a discount. Now I'm embarrassed. This next question, when I got it, the first thing that came to mind was this restaurant right behind me. The question was, are there any chill hidden spots that you find yourself going to when you want to get away from the crowds? Obviously, I think this might change over time, but behind me is Goblet Noir. It is the second restaurant here in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and every time I go in there, there's nobody in there. I mean, there's like 6 people every time that I go inside. And the thing is, the food's really good. It's not even really hidden. It's back here for everybody to see. It's right beside Nicholas Flamel's house, but I just don't think people know about it. So this is my attempt to get people to know about it, because the food's actually really, really good, and you should check it out. If you want something a little more hidden than that inside of Goblet Noir, you can find the 3 brothers. I'm not going to show them to you, but they're in there. Just look for them. Kind of a fun little Easter egg. Oh, I have been dreading this question. So the next question is, do I have any unpopular opinions about Epic Universe? You see where I'm standing. Let's go talk about it. My unpopular Epic Universe opinion, Dark Universe is the worst of the 4 worlds. Let me explain before you get too upset. First things first, behind me, Frankenstein's Manor, this is the home to the attraction Monsters Unchained. Arguably the best ride in Epic Universe and potentially one of the best rides in the world right now. However, there's some glaring issues with other parts of this world. My problem isn't with what is here. It's what's not here that is my problem. The Universal Monsters are what Universal was founded on. This place wouldn't exist without the Universal Monsters. And so I would say half to 2/3 of this world are fantastic. There's Easter eggs, there's all kinds of stuff for you to explore, and it's really well done. However, there's about 1/3 of this world that there's just nothing there. And that doesn't mean I don't love it. I've probably spent as much time here as anywhere. This was my most anticipated world, this or Berk. This one just missed the mark. But the fact is, the monsters are super important to Universal, but they're also super important to me and to the fans. I'm not saying this world didn't do it justice. This world is fantastic. I just don't like the fact that half of the world is amazing. The characters, the interactions, the theming, the Easter eggs. They're insane. Like, you can spend days in here just looking for stuff. But then this other part just feels incomplete. That's my unpopular opinion. It's not that I don't love Dark Universe. I do. I love this place. I can't wait to spend my October in this world. The problem with me, or the problem for me, is that I just wish this side felt like the other side. Now here's the other funny thing. That's not my only unpopular opinion. Let's go check that other one out. My other unpopular opinion, this right here, Stardust Racers. It's not even the best roller coaster in the park. I know. That one hurts too. I think it's like the 4th best roller coaster that Universal has. That's not a bad thing. I think this is incredible. I mean, look at it. It's a ton of fun. Stardust Racers is a must ride anytime you're at the park. It's just Universal has done a lot of good coasters in the last 4 or 5 years. If you want to know my official rankings, I would say Hagrid's, Velocicoaster, Hiccup Swing Gliders, and then Stardust. 4th isn't bad, especially when the 3 that are above you are all world class. That actually does perfectly lead into my next question, which is, what ride has the most re-rideability? I thought about this for a long time because there's a couple that did come to mind. One was Mario Kart. You keep getting better at it. You keep finding ways to get your score higher. I love Men in Black over in Universal Studios. But the one that kept popping up, and the one that I've probably ridden the most, was Hiccup's Wing Gliders. And the fact is, if you've ridden Hagrid's, you probably want to ride Hagrid's again. And that's exactly how I feel about Hiccups. It's a miniature version of Hagrid's. And something that's unique about Hiccups that a lot of people who haven't ridden it multiple times probably don't realize is there's actually different audio. So it does change a little bit. I'm not sure how many different audios, but I've gotten at least 4 different ones while riding it where it just changes the story up just a little bit. The thing about Epic Universe is I've ridden most rides here 10 plus times, easily. Even Ministry, I've ridden 10 plus times, and I've not really gotten tired of any of them. I think there's a lot of re-rideability in this park. But the one that I find myself coming back to over and over again and having a smile on my face every single time I get off of it is Hiccups. I love this roller coaster so much. I know there's some music going on, but the next question is short and sweet. What is the best pizza in the park? It's right here. That's Pizza Moon. Fun fact, this is the only pizza in the park. However, it would be the best pizza in the park if there was a lot more pizza. This is the best theme park pizza that exists right now, in my opinion. So the next question is one that I am actually very adamant on. The question is, are the wands and power-up bands worth it for Epic Universe? And I give it an astounding yes. I recently did a video on the new wands. I love the new wands. I love wands in general. I love taking my wands. It makes you feel more like a wizard. However, here in Super Nintendo World, I think the power-up bands are the biggest necessity to really unlock this world. Now, here's the thing. I'm a gamer, so I love running around and unlocking achievements. You connect it to your app, and it just unlocks so much in this world. However, there is even a few things that you can't do in Super Nintendo World unless you have a power-up band. So there's a whole storyline, which I go over in my complete guide, where you try to get some keys because you're trying to get the golden mushroom back. In order to unlock the secret game that you can play, you have to beat these mini games. And to beat these mini games, you have to have a power-up band. Plus, there is something about hitting the blocks that just makes me so happy. I mean, the haptic feedback is incredible. I mean, seriously, who wants to hear this when you hit a block? It's the sound of my life. So do I believe you should get a power-up band? Absolutely. Go pick out your favorite character that they've got, set it up on your Universal app, and enjoy. Once we have APs and I can come here every day, it will take an act of Congress to remove me from this world. Because I'll be sitting here collecting all the coins. I'm going to be number one on the leaderboard. You wait and see. I tell you what, let's do something fun. You can name yourself in the app once you have the power-up band. You can name yourself. I haven't named myself. Whoever comments the best name, it gets the most likes, I will make that my name, and then y'all can find me as that on the app. Try to keep it like PG-13-ish. All right. So the next question was, what is a food item that you don't think is getting enough recognition? And as I've talked about in the video, the food here at Epic Universe is getting all kinds of recognition because it deserves it. The food is fantastic, but there are some hidden stuff that people just aren't picking up on. So I could have talked about the Stoic Steak Bowl. The 2 times that I've had it, it has been perfectly cooked. It's like medium rare in the middle. It tastes like it's on charcoal. Very, very good. Way better than you expect to get steak in a theme park. Or I could have talked about the Black Forest cake, which I don't have any video of somehow, from over in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Goblet Noir. It's so good. It's extremely rich, but it is so good and not enough people are talking about it. But what I decided on was actually not from one of the quick service restaurants. It was actually from How to Treat Your Dragon. It's kind of like the candy or sweet shop here in How to Train Your Dragons. And what I got was this chocolate cake pop. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a chocolate cake pop. How good can it be? The answer is way better than you're thinking. Somebody the other day told me to get it. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's a chocolate cake pop. And then 2 more people proceeded to talk about it that day. So I knew I had to try it. And it is insanely good. Look at how thick and dense that is. Oh, it is so good. Some kids grew up an oatmeal cream pie kid. That was not me. I was a fudge round kid. And this is like the best fudge round that you've ever had. It is so good. You have to get this. When I say this thing tastes like a fudge round, I mean in the best way possible. Not just any fudge round. It's like the fudge round that you got when you got out of the pool as a kid. You'd been swimming for like 5 or 6 hours and you were famished. And your mom handed you a fudge round. It's that fudge round. Yeah. I think it'd be fun to do a little lightning round. One where I can answer a few questions that are basically a yes or no, or really simple to answer. Can you use gift cards for mobile ordering? Yes, you can. That was recently added, and it is a lifesaver. You used to have to go up to the counter, but now you can just type in the little barcode or the 16-digit number that's on the back of those food and beverage cards. You can order directly through your app. Way easier for me. Is the Butterbeer crepe really worth $20? I mean, I'm going to buy it regardless, but still, I have bought 3. Can you ride all the rides in one day? I don't think so, unless you have help, like a VIP tour and maybe Express Pass, but still, those 3 rides, especially when it gets busy, it's probably going to be hard. And the last question for the lightning round, how should I attack Epic Universe for one day? This is a great question. I am actually going to do a video where I break down that question. I'm going to spend a day here and show you exactly what I would do if I only had one day to spend at Epic Universe. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel because that will be coming out before terribly long. Okay, so this next question, it's a tough question. It's a loaded question because it's probably going to change over the course of time. But the question is, What are the 5 things that you have to do in each world? For me, I would say here in Celestial Park, you have to eat at the restaurants. That makes the most sense. Super Nintendo World, like I talked about earlier, you have to get that power-up band. The power-up band makes that world come to life. It is the best investment that you can make over there. For Isle of Berk, you have to meet Hiccup and Toothless. You have to do the Toothless meet and greet. It is, like I said, life-changing. In the last 2 worlds, Dark Universe and Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you have to ride the rides. Monsters Unchained is a world-class attraction with some of the best animatronics that have ever been put into a theme park, and then the Battle at the Ministry is one of the most innovative rides that I have ever been on. It is awe-inspiring every single time you get on it, and it is a must-ride attraction when you're here. And now the last question, and I think it sums up the day pretty well. What is one thing that you can't go home and miss at Epic Universe? I had to think a lot about this one, because I don't think the answer is as straightforward as a lot of people would think. If there's one thing that you can't miss at Epic Universe, it's not a ride, and it's not a show. It's that first moment when you look around and realize you're standing in a place that feels like it's built from pure imagination. Whether you're walking into Dark Universe, feeling the music swell in Celestial Park, meeting a dragon in Isle of Berk, or seeing a kid light up holding a wand in the Wizarding World. Don't miss that feeling. That quiet little spark that reminds you what it's like to be a kid again and to dream again. That's the one thing you can't miss at Epic Universe. Just don't miss that chance to explore a theme park that you've never been to. It's one of the things that made me fall in love with theme parks. It's just the magic that you feel while you're here. With that, I hope I answered all your questions, and if not, please let me know in the comments or send me a message on Instagram and I will do my best to answer them. I hope you guys have fun on your trip to Epic Universe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.